Hello. For those of you guys who don't know, my name is Joby. I'm a sophomore. I'm majoring in music tech as of next semester. This is my first year in FASA, and I'm running for secretary. I've told this a couple times already. A lot of you guys already know this, I guess. But last year was compared to this year, was a much lonelier year for me. More than anything, I just sort of avoided FASA, even though Gabe was really pushing for me to come, Tyler Little, a bunch of other people, and I was very intimidated by FASA, and I was very scared of FASA, and really just joining any kind of group. I didn't have a lot of friends or anything, a handful, but and that's what it also carried on to this year, except for the fact that I actually, I decided to join FASA. And now here I am, and this group is a huge portion of my life now. It's something that FASA is a very, it has a very special place in my heart. And I want to be able to do everything that I can, to make this group as cool as it can be, as nice as it can be. I want it to be the best group it can be, and that's really why I want to be your secretary next semester. I believe that I should be your secretary because, my experiences overall have made me, I guess, perfect for the role. A couple years ago, I worked in a music store. And it was all about, communicating, and it helped me really work in a group of people, and also helped me be able, with just interpersonal skills and stuff, being able to talk to people, being able to, convey a message in a way that's, welcoming to other people. My experience as a leader in the CFC youth community taught me how to effectively plan for events. Big events with lots of people, lots of logistics to it, how to delegate roles for different people, while also being able to tend to the concerns of the members that were there, whether it's on the spot or in terms of planning for future events. Last year, I actually started an organization on campus, and with just a small handful of people, John Lund. And that's helped me sort of understand what it means to not only, successfully run events, but it's also taught me how it feels to fail, but on top of that, how to persist from that failure and take action to turn that failure into even more success. And on top of that, I even interned under, Redmar, and they are lovely current secretaries. Hello. And it's helped me give insight on what exactly I might be doing, what it means to take on the role as secretary. And so pretty much what I'm saying is that I don't necessarily see it I'm fit for the role, but it makes more sense to say that based on looking at all these roles, it makes sense that that role is fitting for me, I guess. Yeah. Last semester last semester I found that our current secretaries are what really got me into FASA. Not only were they my source of information through emails and messages and stuff like that, but they were what made me feel more welcome at FASA. Just because back then the only thing I'd really be checking with were those emails, and it made it feel less scary having to thinking about going to an event, being able to see that stuff. It wasn't just informative, but it was very relaxed, it was very friendly. It's part of why I kept coming back, and that's why I want to put a lot of my focus as secretary to furthering the growth of the growth and fellowship of our members. For example, being one of the direct connections between eBoard and its members, I want to focus on how I make emails more inviting for both new and returning members while giving them the best and accurate information for upcoming events. As an e-board member, I want to push more things like just straight up hanging out events that feel more inviting to everyone while not feeling intimidating or cliquey or anything like that. I want to use my ability as an e-board member to pretty much make everyone feel like they belong. So, in conclusion, I feel like I'm to be your secretary because I'm not only qualified, but can further grow to better fit this role. I believe that as secretary, with your help, I can make a lasting difference in both FASA and our campus as a whole. And lastly, as secretary, my promise is not to forget what it truly means to be a member of FASA, because FASA isn't just family, it's my family. Thank you. So, some questions?
Of our pillars, what is our weakest pillar and how do you hope to improve?
Let's see, so it's education, service, family, integration. Now, could you explain something to me before I answer that question? What specifically do you mean by integration? Because that's something that's always been unclear to me. Could you explain that to me by any chance?
Integration is pretty broad, but it's basically integrating new members, integrating other organizations, integrating FASA into those organizations. It's kind of all-encompassing in that you're getting more people here and us out, if that makes sense. Getting us exposure as well as bringing new people to
Okay. Now I gotta work out everything. So education, service, family. Yeah. Okay. And then I definitely say it's probably integration. I always feel that that there's slightly more that we could do to keep the members that we have here. Like I said, I really focus on at least my focus. My thought process is really on making the people both outside and inside the FASA community feel like they're welcome to be in the FASA community, and at the same time, I feel like we could also do more to promote the things outside of FASA, because I know that there are people who strictly FASA and nothing else. I myself am guilty at times where where FASA is the only thing I'm thinking about, and because there's so many of us that do so many other things other than FASA, it's the fact that we're in this large group and that we can all we're all a potential resource to each other, and there's just a lot of potential for exposure to different things, different organizations, different opportunities that would benefit the people in FASA. Pablo again. Hello.
Hello. You said that you founded an org last year, right?
Yeah.
What org is that?
It is. Does anyone here know what CFC is? Couples for Christ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. For those of you guys who don't know, it's a worldwide Catholic organization. It was founded in the Philippines, and the main is Couples for Christ, and it's really a family ministry. So there's Couples for Christ, there's CFC Youth, used to be Youth for Christ, but that name's taken. So CFC Youth, there's Singles for Christ, Kids for Christ. It extends around the whole family and beyond. So for everyone who's widowed or whatever. But anyway, the whole concept, what they've been trying to implement is starting CFC into the campuses, because when you're away from home and you're away from that community that you sort of you don't really get that on campus. It's hard to have that. So long story short, we're trying to implement CFC on campus, making it available to UMBC.
How has that gone to?
It's had its ups and downs. We're officially recognized as a student organization, and so we have the appropriate resources. But at the same time, it's three people. It's me, John Lem, and if you guys know Samantha Sandrino. And so, like I said, it's had its ups and downs, and because it is something that we do, since it is just three of us, it's something that we have a hard time like knowing how to delegate all of everything that goes into it, whether it's finding the time to have a meeting, what's going to be going on in the meeting, because we'll end up having like a whole talk that one of us has to organize and put together, and then we also have to worry about finding a way to reach out to potential members and getting people to come check out the meeting and all that. So yeah, it's had its ups and downs, and we're constantly like working on like how we can fix that.
Final follow-up question. What was your process, or what was your involvement in the founding process for CFC?
On campus, I will say, so like I guess my role is vice president there. It is actually John Lem who's John Lem's president, and he is like, surprisingly, he's doing a lot, and so we're doing what we can to support John Lem, but a lot of it is for example, he had organized like meeting up, finding an advisor. We have Dr. Carpenter, and and so we had to meet up with her, and along with one or two people, we met up with her, and it was up to us to sort of convince her this is what we're about, this is why we should have it, along with meeting up with like the local pastor at OBL, OLV, that's what it is, and like a lot of the meetings, I'm always there. We sort of plan the meetings together as to who's gonna be doing what. Usually we'll end up like lessons. During the meetings, like for example, we're teaching songs, and I'm like kind of the one who ends up playing the songs. Well, I am the one who plays the songs. So yeah, we all have like sort of different roles all the time, but like the roles are constantly shifting because we're like sort of switching on and off as to who's doing what for the meetings, because it is, of course, just three of us. Yeah.
So your secretarial role, so you're not supposed to do emails, take down the minutes and whatnot. But what more do you hope to bring to the table as being on e-board in general, like apart from your secretarial duties?
Okay. I do keep on like sort of going back to this, but even like more so as an e-board member than as a secretary, do I want to emphasize on the whole idea of making everyone feel included, that making the people that are in FASA feel welcome, like they should be there. It doesn't matter who they are, and also extending to the people outside of the FASA community, to letting them know that they are welcome to come in, that our doors are open to everyone, and FASA really is like it is a family, open to everybody, and there's several ways to do that. One is in terms of me as a secretary, when it comes to stuff like emails, I guess sort of I don't have any like solid like steps yet. But pretty much I'm just sort of mentally working out how I want to do stuff like rewrite emails in such a way or like restructure how like emails are written, sent out in such a way where it is more appealing, it's more friendly, inviting, and then also interpersonally, like at events, at times where I myself have the floor, can speak, that we really like emphasize that the things that I've mentioned, that FASA is something that's open to the people. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Joby.
Thank you. Thank you very much.